Right, class. Just want to say hello to you, and we are going to go over one of the worksheets that I've given you. It is the gold one. You were actually going to have a quiz that goes with this. So make sure you're paying close attention to all the things that we go over on this beautiful worksheet that I've given you. This is the science students requirements for 2025, 2026. You are going to be respectful to yourself and others. You're going to follow the safety rules and giving your best effort. Remember, your safety rules you've signed, your caregiver has signed it. They know what rules you need to do. If you break those rules, you will have a detention. With me, this is a state mandated rule sheet that you have to sign in order to be in science class. You're going to be a positive contributor to the classroom. That means working in labs, etc. Required supplies. Students must come to class prepared every day with the following things. You need to have a charged iPad. I only have one charger. Over the years, I've had more and kids steal them. So if your iPad is dead or does not charge, you are going to have to use a loose leaf piece of paper, like here, in order for you to handwrite your answers. That's why you need a binder or a folder that has paper or a spiral notebook, whatever you think it is. I recommend a folder because there will be some labs that we will not do on our iPad, so you need a place to put the lab. And something to write with. Pencil, pen. I say pencil because then you can erase if you have mistakes. You were graded on 70% summative, which are tests, quizzes, and projects, and 30% formative, which is the daily work, lab work, etc. You will begin your assignments promptly and on time, and everything what you will be doing. If you have any questions, you can ask in class. If you do not feel comfortable asking in class, email me in between classes or your next class, or email me the night before. If you need any additional instruction, I have the help sessions posted on the daily learning plan every day, and it is also posted on the Blackboard next to my computer desk. If you are absent from school, it's usually one day is usually the rule of thumb. So if you missed a Tuesday, you come back on Wednesday, I tell you that it's going to be due on Friday. Now, it is important you do not fall behind. If you start to fall behind or you've been sick, the daily learning plan has everything you need in class to complete it. It has the slides I go over it. It will have a number of questions we got through in that class period. It has videos from Amplify that has a teacher they hired to teach the lab or the lesson. Again, please check with me if you have missed anything. You can email me, or just, like I said, the daily learning plan is probably the best option for you. If you start falling behind or you've missed a lab and you didn't figure it out from the video or from the slides, I recommend you coming into a help session. So those are just kind of how we grade. Ask questions as much as possible. Email me the questions if you had. I usually check my email a couple times during the night. If you start falling behind, I do have a number of help sessions. I am here at 8:20. Come in. That is almost an hour that we can get some of your work done. If you fall behind because you're not using your class time, you missed because of sports or trips, or if you've been sick, are the best things. All right. Here is the most important part, the actual work. You're not able to redo any formative assessments. So that's formative assessments, daily work. So anything that we do in class during the day, that is the 30% of your grade you cannot redo. So do your best effort. Now, the reason why you're not able to redo it is because everything is given to you in class. You either talk to your neighbors, you copy down from a slide, you go to the lab and you complete an activity. All those three things are done in class. If you do not finish it in class because of behavior of other students, you showed up late, the class needs to regroup or be redirected too many times, it is your responsibility to go home and finish the questions that are posted on the daily learning plan. So if we have 13 through 26 to do, your class was disruptive, you showed up late, and you only got up to 2020, it is your job to go home, use the slides, look at the videos to complete the assignment. Because when we come back, we will start on 27. 90% of it is graded on completion. So as long as you are writing in a complete sentence, you are labeling your numbers correctly, and if you leave nothing blank, no I don't knows are going to be marked wrong every time. So if you are copying, you're writing things down, you're guessing, making an educated guess with a good complete sentence that's related to the topic, you are going to get a perfect score on all your formative assessments. Again, Amplify stresses just about learning, trying to figure it out. There's very rarely do they have right and wrong answers. It's more of what you think you can do. Again, students can receive full credit of missing work until the summative assessment. So this is the formative. If you hand in any work after we've taken a summative assessment, whether a test, a quiz, or a summative project, you have 5 days, 5 school days to get it in, and you're going to be hit with a 20% late policy. So let's say we have a test on September 13th, which we won't. You have until September 20th, which there'll be a weekend in there, to get in your work. If you get it in after the 13th, it's automatically. We will have summative projects in science class. They could be posters, they could be written assessments where you have to create something. They will be an at-home project that you have to build something. These are different than tests and quizzes because you are able to use your notes, labels, labs, anything that amplify like articles. You could use simulations. The first time you complete it, you will have 1 week to complete the assessment after the due date for 80%. So just like your formative assessments, if it is a due date that I've let you know for 2 weeks and it is late, past the due date, you will get 20% taken off. After that date, after the 1 week after, when it's 80% chance, after that, it'll be a 0. So if you don't turn your project in 1 week after the assessment, you will get a 0. For group project retakes, you are able to complete the project on your own. It may be the same project. It may be 1 week to complete the retake to do it. So if you're with a group of 4 people and you get 24 out of 40 because your group did not do very well on it, you were able to redo it. The only thing that you cannot redo is how your group graded you. Because it's part of the 4 C's, you are not able to get those points back. So let's say of the 40 points, 10 points was how you worked with your group members and they gave you a 5 out of 10. You cannot replace that other 5 points. You can replace the material of that score, but you cannot replace how they graded you. For individual projects, you are not able to retake it. So take your time. Use all the resources you have. I will give you plenty of time in class. You just need to use your class times wisely and your resources. There will be times where you will have to create a project in class that is a summative, and I will give you all the information you need. It could be through Amplify. It could be through index card. It could be through lab pictures, whatever. It could be through a lab or an experiment. You have enough time, but you need to use your time wisely. You were not, I repeat, not able to retake an individual project because you get to use notes, labs, simulations, materials, etc. Cheating, pretty self-explanatory. It's in our CMS handbook. If you copy answers from a classmate that's already completed it, if you screenshot somebody else's answers and put them in yours, if you take a classmate's and hand it in, anything like that. On tests, I do not allow cheat sheets. You are not able to use a note card. You are not able to use a cheat sheet the first time you take it. If I see it, you get an automatic 0. If you have a copy of the test somehow, or you screenshotted quiz answers and quiz questions from Schoology, you are not able to retake it. You will get a 0. That will be a 0 on a summative assessment. Again, the consequences are 0. You will be, and the person who does cheat with you will also be part of it. And then I will report you to the dean, and the consequences are what is in the student handbook. Students will be respectful of classmates and their properties. Guidelines for potential consequences are listed in the handbook. There's a strict consequence for infractions on this during class, during labs, and online. Always have your science safety rules sheet signed in your binder, in your folder, whatever you bring to class. Remember, if you break one of those science safety rule sheets, you will receive a detention. You are not a bad kid for detention. I had a lot of detentions in 7th grade. I'm not a bad kid. I wasn't a bad kid. I made mistakes. I learned from my mistakes. I was taught from those mistakes. All right, tardy policy. You should use your time in between classes before schools to stop at your locker, go to the bathroom, etc. Only 2 students are allowed per day to use the restroom or drink or locker in my class. You're responsible to be in my class. I give you knowledge. You use that knowledge to give yourself a better education. You have to be in class in order to receive this knowledge. So going out to the bathroom a lot, whatever, you need to be in class. You need to be in your seats when the bell rings, not walking when the bells ring. You need to be in your seat before the bell rings. Your iPad needs to be down and closed. I usually come in after because I have a hall duty or I got to escort a kid to the office. I'm helping a kid with a locker. It's not beat Mr. Welch to class. You were in the classroom, in your seat, sitting down with your iPad face down before the bell rings. When class starts, your iPads need to be in iLearn and your Bluetooth on. If I cannot see your screen in Apple Classroom, we will wait till everybody has their Bluetooth on and are in Apple Classroom. Then we will start the lesson. If it takes 10 minutes, that's 10 minutes less of class time. That means it's 10 minutes of homework for you. Again, you're on iLearn. You have your Bluetooth on so I can see your screen. The longer it takes, the less time you have in class. If it continues to be a problem, then I will just give you a tardy. The tardy policy is the same as last year. The first one is a warning. The second one is an email to your caregiver. And the third one is a dean. I will be signing the detention. You will have a detention with me in my classroom. We're going to figure out why you're not here on time. If you do not show up in 5 days after I sign that detention, and I will email your caregiver about this, then I will refer it to the office, and then you will have an after-school detention, which is a lot longer than the ones I have. You will be given bathroom passes and hallway passes and use them when you are not able to leave the classroom. So if I give you 4 passes and you use them the first week, you do not get to go. You do not get to leave. If you have to leave, I will give you a tardy. So if you use up your 4 passes and you have to go to the bathroom after the 4 passes, then I will mark you a tardy, and that counts. You cannot leave the first 10 or last 10 of class, period. Make sure you are following those easily. Science is an active class, and I have a couple of rules. I will count down to 5, and the classroom needs to be quiet. If the classroom is not quiet, I have the ability to hold the whole class back 1 minute after the bell. If an individual is asked more than 3 times in a class period to be quiet, 2 times the 3rd and 4th quarter, because you should know how to act by the time we get to 3rd and 4th quarter, you will be assigned a 20-minute detention. So the last little bit of this is if you do get a detention. Now, again, you're not a bad kid. You are a 7th grader. Your brain is not fully developed, as they say. You're going to make mistakes. You're not a bad kid. You made a mistake. We'll talk about it. So when I assign a detention for tardies or for safety rule violations, or you've been blurting in class too much, I am going to request your caregiver for you to come in the morning or during your lunch, and we are going to talk about why these behaviors are happening. Why aren't you on time? Why do you continue to blurt? Why did you break this safety rule? If you do not show up 5 days from that, then I will give it to the office, and the office will assign an office detention, which is after school. Again, these are simple. I've told you all the things that I expect of you. You are going to make mistakes. You are going to not follow these all the time. Again, that doesn't make you a bad kid. By the end of first term, you will get used to these rules. I hope for a great year. Again, you know the policy, you know the safety rules, and have a great school year. Thanks for listening.